So, how's Jalen Ramsey looking so far? The Pittsburgh Steelers traded for the 30-year-old cornerback this offseason to bolster their roster around Aaron Rodgers in what they hope will be a Super Bowl run. Is it looking like a good move? You're watching Light Boxes, a football show that helps you think outside the box about the NFL. I'm your host, Rob Ballantine. This is the Spotlight series, where I cover one player each week that I think had a really interesting game and presents a unique set of questions going into the rest of the season. Before we dig into it, it would mean a lot if you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Doing these things helps get my content out to more NFL fans just like you. Now, on to the show. Pittsburgh's strategy so far has been to let Ramsey line up primarily in off coverage with outside leverage. This allows him to see all the routes develop in front of him and make big plays on the ball. In week one against the Jets, Ramsey made the game-sealing hit on Garrett Wilson, dislodging the ball right as he was attempting to make the catch. He was in that alignment and he triggered downhill quickly. He actually did the exact same thing on a different play in this game against the Seahawks. Tight end Elijah Arroyo leaks out into the flat. Jalen Ramsey sees it and arrives just in time to knock the ball loose. Granted, that wasn't as critical a play as the one in the Jets game, but it shows the same awareness. He's going to trigger quickly, and he's going to be a monster hitter when he arrives. But Seattle had a really good plan for dealing with Jalen Ramsey's tendencies because they constantly ran in breakers and crossing routes away from Ramsey's leverage. This meant that he was credited per PFF with 9 receptions on 11 targets, allowing 128 yards, 5 first downs, and a touchdown. He also got an interception and a pass breakup. Incidentally, both of those plays came on outbreaking routes. The PBU was the aforementioned Arroyo play, but the INT, that was vintage Ramsey. It was a play-action pass. QB Sam Darnold has his back to the defense, and when he flips back around, he sees a bit of cushion for Cooper Kupp, who's going to be breaking out towards the sideline. So he gets ready to throw it, but Ramsey reads it the whole way. He puts his foot in the ground at the same time, and he makes a quicker play on the ball than Cooper Kupp. Granted, that's not a window I would have tried, especially with Kupp having lost a step as his career has gone on, but it wasn't a boneheaded decision from Darnold. It was just a better play by Ramsey, in my opinion. But fortunately for Darnold, the Seahawks designed a ton of good plays to quicker receivers getting free inside releases working against Ramsey's leverage that allowed Darnold to get the ball to his first read. Jackson Smith and Jigba feasted on this type of play, getting chunk yardage up the middle. Rookie Torrey Horton got in on the action too with an easy inbreaker for a first down. Couldn't have been a more simple pitch and catch against Ramsey. Horton's touchdown is also credited against Ramsey. I do think that's a bit misleading, though. I think Seattle got into a much better call on offense than Pittsburgh did on defense. First of all, he's running a deep crosser with JSN running a deep crosser from the other side, and I think it would have made more sense if Jalen Ramsey and the other cornerback Darius Slay passed these routes off to each other instead of trailing behind them. Also, the safety, Juan Thornhill, triggers down on JSN's route in a way that causes Ramsey to lose half a step. I'm not sure Ramsey would have been able to keep up, but that's still a tough situation based on the play call, based on the coverage they were in, for them to be able to stop Torrey Horton from streaking easy wide open into the end zone. All in all, Ramsey is still a good player. The age cliff hasn't come and he can make big plays on the ball. The interception demonstrated that. But his deployment is way too predictable right now, and the Seahawks were able to take advantage of that by spamming inbreakers against him, and that's now on tape, so other teams are going to try to replicate that. Looking ahead to the Steelers' schedule, though, it's not clear exactly which opponents will be able to exploit this issue. The Patriots are up next, and their wide receiver core hasn't proven much. You might just want to relinquish these yards to those receivers, whereas letting Jackson Smith and Jigba run free is not a strategy for success. And Drake May is a young quarterback, so he may be prone to being baited into some bad throws. Maybe Jalen Ramsey could get an interception or two, honestly, in that game, depending on how aggressive May is. But then the Steelers play the Vikings, and while J.J. McCarthy is even younger in his NFL career and has had a ton of issues so far this season, I think with Kevin O'Connell as his head coach, you can't just give free inbreakers to Justin Jefferson, probably the best wide receiver in the league, and that's the game Jordan Addison comes back, so I don't think that strategy is as viable against the Vikings as it might seem. If the defensive line gets home against J.J. McCarthy, it's a moot point, but I still don't like just free inbreakers to those receivers. After a week 5 bye, the Steelers get the Browns and then the Burrow-less Cincinnati Bengals. These could be great times for the Steelers to slowly turn up the dial on how creatively they use Jalen Ramsey and not be punished too hard for how vanilla their base usage is. If they don't turn up the dial at some point, though, it'll be hard for me to understand why they bothered trading for Ramsey because he's a dynamic player and right now he's just not making quite the impact of which he's capable. Thanks so much for watching this installment of the Spotlight series. If you enjoyed it, it would mean the world to me if you liked it and subscribed to this channel. This is Light Boxes. I'm Rob Ballantine. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.